Madam, your PPT is visible, madam.
Sclerenchyma tissue. Coming to the third
Okay,
one,
madam.
this is a
Proceed, madam.
sclerenchyma tissue. Sclerenchyma, scleros means hard, is the Greek word scleros. So this scleros is the Greek word. It means hard. It is a simple permanent tissue made up of thick-walled lignified cells. So which are we are observed that cellulose, hemicellulose, calcium pectate in the parenchymatous cells. In the cholenchymatous cells, the cell wall is made up of cellulose and pectin. We observed that pectin. So in the come to the sclerenchyma, that cells are made up of thick-walled lignified cells. So the sclerenchyma cells are widely distributed mechanical tissue. These are dead cells. The cell wall is made up of lignin. Sclerenchyma cells are short or long. They are classified into two types, that is fibers and sclerids. So the main function of sclerenchyma is to provide the mechanical support to the plant body. The main function of sclerenchyma, that is giving the mechanical support to the plant body. Usually sclerenchyma cells are dead without protoplast. These are dead cells without protoplast. These cells are generally divided into two types, that is sclerids and fibers and sclerids. Generally fibers are long slender cells, while the sclerids are short isodiametric cells, but intermediate forms also occur. Okay, so next coming to the next slide, that is fibers. The fibers okay, fibers are specialized type of sclerenchyma cells that occur in different parts of the plant body. Okay, so that fibers are specialized so coming to the sclerenchyma, only those are two types of cells are present, fibers and sclerids. Coming to the fibers, these are specialized type of sclerenchyma that occur in different parts of the plant body. They are fairly common in the vascular tissues but also occur in the ground tissue. So these they are usually occur in the bands or form uninterrupted hollow cylinder. So they have great tensile strength, flexibility and elasticity, which enable the plant organs to withstand a variety of strains and tensions resulting from the action of wind, gravity, etc. The cells are dead cells. In cross section, the cells are angular in outline. True fibers have simple pits. They have a narrow lumen and a thick lignified secondary wall. The cells are without intercellular spaces. These cells are present in cortex, pericycle, and vascular bundles. Hardness and rigidity of the seed coats are only due to these cells. Hardness and rigidity, we observe the seed coats. So next, structurally, these fibers are long, narrow, thick, and lignified sclerenchyma cells, usually with pointed or blunt ends. The degree of lignification varies in different types of fibers. Sometimes their walls are made up of cellulose instead of lignin. In the some types, we observed that instead of the lignin, that cellulose is present. Example for that, linum. Okay, linum, cannabis, and still others, they have gelatinous thickenings. In the transverse section, the fibers appear rounded or polygonal with outline with a well-defined lumen. See here, I will show some diagrams. About sclerids are there, but not okay. So on the basis of their position, in the plant body, the fibers are classified into xylary fibers and extraxylary fibers. Fibers are two types, that is xylary fibers and extraxylary fibers. Xylary fibers, they are also known as wood fibers, and as the name indicates, they are associated with xylem. Okay, so that name shows that that will xylary means it will associated with the xylem. Moreover, they develop from the same meristematic tissue which gives rise to other xylem elements. They help in conduction as well as support, that is xylary fibers. Coming to the extraxillary fibers, so these fibers occur in various tissues outside the xylem. Okay, some fibers are attached with the xylem; those are called axillary fibers. So those are fibers occur in various tissues outside the xylem. Those are called extraxillary fibers. So the xylem, such as cortex, pericycle, or even phloem, they are also known as bast fibers. This is very important. Okay, which one are called bast fibers? These are extraxillary fibers. Without xylem, those are called extraxillary fibers. These are also called bast fibers. Foster, in the year 1949, he given that name bast fibers, and ESA classified these fibers into three categories: cortical fibers, and perivascular fibers, and phloic or phloem fibers. So what which one are extraxillary fibers are three types. Okay, so based on the some fibers originate in the cortex or in the ground tissue, those are called cortical fibers. Okay, name should be given based on the formation. So some are originate in the cortex, those are called cortical fibers. Example: grasses and palms, casuarina, cortical fibers. So which one are located in the periphery of the vascular cylinder? Those are called perivascular fibers. Example: Aristolochia and Helianthus cucurbita. Okay, please note down these examples. Cortical fibers example: grasses and palms. Perivascular fibers examples: Aristolochia, Helianthus. Next, phloem fibers. Those are originated in the primary and secondary phloem. That is example: Linum and Nicotiana. Okay, Carchorus, Linum, Carchorus, Nicotiana. These are example for the phloem fibers. These the extraxillary fibers are long, spindle shaped with tapering ends. They are usually unbranched. Okay, so on the basis of pits, on the basis of position, these mm, these fibers are classified. So some pits are having the fibers that based on the pits, xylary fibers are of two types: libriform fibers and fiber tracheids. Libriform fibers have simple pits, fiber tracheids are have bordered pits. So that is a based on the pits, that xylary fibers are classified into two types, that is libriform and fiber tracheids. See here, what is the simple pit, what is the border pit? Pits are there. Okay, based on the pits, those are classified into two types: libriform and fiber tracheids. So some fibers having the simple pits, those are called libriform fibers. Those are having the bordered pits, those are called fiber tracheids. So next, coming to the what are the simple pits? The pits in which the pit cavity uniform, that cavity is uniform, are called simple pits. They appear as circular or oval areas in surface view. They are found in vessels and xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. So those are called simple pits. The pits in which the pit cavity is uniform, that is simple pits. Coming to the bordered pits, the pits in which the secondary wall bends as an or cover the pit cavity are called bordered pits. Each bordered pit consists of a pit cavity or a pit chamber. That pit chamber open outside by a pit aperture. The pit chamber shows a membrane in the middle. This membrane is called a pit membrane. So that is the complex structure having in pit structure, that is called bordered pits. Okay, that is the difference between simple pit and bordered pits. So see here, extraxillary fibers, fibers present outside the xylem are called extraxillary. These are further classified into cortical, pericyclic and phloem fibers. Already we have discussed just now. So cortical means fibers present in the cortex, these are called cortical. Pericyclic means these are present in pericycle, is called pericyclic. Next, which are present in the phloem, those are called phloem fibers. Okay, next, coming to the uses of fibers. So it gives mechanical strength. The plants withstand forces like compression and breakage because of fibers. They helps in seed dispersal, Fibers have a great commercial value in cottage and textile industries. Okay, these are the main functions of fibers. So among the dicotyledons, the phloem fibers form the bast fibers of commerce. Okay, so which one are very important? That those are called bast fibers. These the phloem fibers are called bast fibers, as they are soft and flexible. There's a, those are called soft fibers also. The cell walls contain little amount of lignin. The most typical examples of these fibers are hemp. This is very important. Cannabinus sativa. So those fibers are called which one example for that fibers are hemp. Hemp fiber anangane we are Cannabinus sativa, jute Carcorus capsularis, and next flax fibers are linum. Example for the flax linum. These fibers are very long and are used for making various types of cordages, collection of ropes, textiles, and also for paper making. Okay, this is very important. Please note down what is that. The cell wall contain little amount of lignin only. The most typical examples of these fibers. So hemp, cannabinus. A hemp example cannabinus, jute example carcorus, flax example linum. Okay, these are very important coming in the competitive exams from here. Okay, some questions are given in the last previous question papers. The fibers are very long, and these are used for making various types of cordages and textile department, and these are also for paper making. Okay, these fibers in monocotyledons usually or in the leaf fibers, they have strongly lignified walls and are hard and stiff. Okay, in the dicotyledons, those are very soft, it having the less amount of lignin. That is example for the hemp, jute, and flax. Okay, so those are observed in the dicotyledons. Coming to the monocotyledons, usually these are the leaf fibers. They have strongly lignified walls and are hard and stiff, so these are called hard fibers. Okay, in the monocotyledons we are observed the hard fibers. The typical example of manila hemp, musa textilis, and bow string hemp. Okay, so Manila hemp, example Musa, bowstring hemp, Sansevieria, sisal, agave, and Saccharum officinarum and Zea mays. Okay, these are also used for the cordage and for paper industry. It's very important. Some hard fibers are there, soft fibers are there. So hard fibers examples are Manila hemp from the Musa, bowstring hemp, bowstring hemp, Sansevieria, sisal, agave, Saccharum officinalis, and Zea mays. Okay, so these are very important fibers. So next, coming to the sclerites. So which one are called sclerites? These are also known as stone cells because of their thick and hard cell walls. Okay, so sclerites. Coming to the sclerites, these two types belongs to sclerenchyma, and these are also known as stone cells. We are called because of that their thick and hard cell walls. The shape and size of scleroid is variable and depend upon the that of parenchymatous cells from which they are derived. They have very thick secondary walls with numerous simple pits. The lumen is very much reduced. Okay, so scleroids are widely distributed in the plant body and are also associated with xylem and phloem. They occur stringly or a group of few cells. The hard parts of seeds, nuts, and fruits are usually made up of stone cells. Okay, we are observing the scleroids on the some of the parts of seeds, nuts, and fruits. These are usually made up of stone cells. We are called stone cells as the scleroids. Okay, example pyrus and anacardium, legume, seed coats. Okay, for the stone cells example pyrus, anacardium, legume. On the basis of their shape and thickening of walls, scleroids are classified into 5 types. Scleroids are based on their shape and size. They can be classified into following types? There are 5 types: brachysclerites, macrosclerites, macrosclerites, osteosclerites, and trichosclerites. Okay, so very simple. What is the brachysclerites? Brachysclerites. So see here, you observe that the cells are isodiametric and occur in the cortex and phloem of stems. Cinnamomum. Example, cinnamomum. And in the flesh of some fruits. Fruits example is pyrus. Okay, these are also called stone cells. That is the brachysclerites. See here, these are isodiametric and resembles parenchyma. These are present in cortex, phloem, and flesh of fruits. That is the stone cells. Okay. Next, coming to the second one, macrosclerites. Macro. Okay. So macrosclerites, these are elongated columnar sclerites. They occur in the seed coat of peas and beans. Peas and beans. Seed coat of peas and beans, we observe the macro. Macro means big size. Okay. So these are elongated columnar sclerites. They occur in the seed coat of peas and beans. Next, coming to the osteosclerites, these are bone shaped. Osteo means bone shaped and rod like with enlarged or lobed ends. Mauria, seed coat. Okay, ostia and Hakea also. So they occur in the leaves and seed coats of many monocotyledons, Hakea and Moriria seed coat. Okay. Bone shaped sclerites are called osteosclerites. Example, many monocotyledons of seed coats and Moriria seed coat. Okay. Hakea and Moriria. That is osteosclerites. Next, coming to the ostrosclerites, they are star shaped. Ostro means star shaped. So all are you observe in the some pictures. Okay. So next, ostrosclerites. They are star-shaped stellate cells found in the leaves of nymphia and the leaves of thea and trichodendron. Okay. Nymphia petiole already given in the slide. That is nymphia petiole. These are star-like or stellate sclerites. Ostro means star-like. Osteo means bone-shaped. Okay. So macro means elongated and columnar cells. That is macro. So resembles the parenchyma. Those are called brachysclerites. Okay. So trichosclerites, come to the trichosclerites. These are very much elongated and somewhat hair-like in form. Trichosclerites means hair-like structures. Tricho means hair-like. Okay. They are found in the intercellular spaces, in the leaves and stems of certain hydrophytes, in the aerial roots by Monstera, and in the leaves of olive. Okay. Leaves of Olea. Olive, and Monstera roots, aerial roots by Monstera. That is the trichosclerites. Okay. So these all are about the sclerenchyma. So those 5 types of sclerites are there: brachy, macro, osteo, astero, and tricho. So these are very, very important. That examples are the important. This topic also some the competitive exams that questions will be given. Wait, see here, this is a simple tissues. Today we observed that total simple tissues parenchyma. In the parenchyma we observed that chlorenchyma, erenchyma, storage parenchyma, and coming to the collenchyma, 4 types of angular, lacunar, lamellar, and annular also we observed. Coming to the sclerenchyma, those fibers and the sclerites. Fibers are 2 types, that is libriform and fiber tracheids. Xylary fibers and extraxillary fibers also we observed. Coming to the sclerites, 5 types of sclerites we observed. This is about the total topic about the simple tissues. If you have any doubts, please ask me.
ఎస్ మిత్రమా ఎవరికైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే
No doubt, madam.
శశిరేఖ, హరీష్,
Very clear.
రాంబాబు, శాలిని,
clear, madam.
ప్రసాద్, సుమయ్య, జబీన్,
Okay, thank you.
సున్నం వినీల. Okay, madam, really it's a excellent topic regarding of all competitive exams related in our plant sciences. ముఖ్యంగా సింపుల్ టిష్యూ అంటే మనకు ఈ సరళ కణజాలానికి సంబంధించి మనకు శాశ్వత కణజాలంలో మొదటి రకమైంది ఈ మనకు సరళ కణజాలము. సింపుల్ టిష్యూకు సంబంధించి మేడం గారు చాలా క్లియర్గా మనకు అందులో ఉండేటువంటి క్లోరెన్ కైమ, అదేవిధంగా మనకు దీనికి సంబంధించినటువంటి మొదటి రకానికి సంబంధించినటువంటిది ప్యారెన్ కైమ, రెండో రకానికి సంబంధించి కోలెన్ కైమ, మూడో రకానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి స్క్లీరెన్ కైమ. అంటే మనకు సరళ కణజాలానికి సంబంధించి ఏదైతే మృదు కణజాలము, స్థూల కోణ కణజాలము, దృఢ కణజాలానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి పరిపూర్ణమైనటువంటి పూర్తి ఎగ్జాంపుల్తో సహా, తర్వాత కణ నిర్మాణం ఏ విధంగా ఉంటుంది, కణాంతర అవకాశాలు ఉంటావా ఉండవా, ఎందుకు వాటిని ఆ పేరుతో పిలుస్తారు అనే అర్థవంతంగా కూడా మనకు మేడం గారు చెప్పారు. రియల్లీ ఇట్స్ ఏ వండర్ఫుల్ క్లాస్ మేడం. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. సో టుమారో వి విల్ మీట్ ఎట్ సేమ్ టైం మేడం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.